Oh my god. There's no way. That was so good. Oh my god. Okay. You talk because I need to take a break. I need to take a mental.
So yeah, anyway, guys, I called it actually like an hour before the episode even happened. The Sydney was being voted out, so I'm actually the best ever. You guys should have seen
Dude.
Tiffany's exit thing. It was so funny. She was being like so
Dude,
self-centered.
it's
She was like,
so funny,
"I'm
bro.
so happy I'm gone." She's like, "I'm so happy I'm gone because all these people suck or whatever." It was funny. But yeah, great blindside. I mean, I called it because, like I said, I am the best.
Dude, that was the I don't know about episode. The episode was meh, it was pretty good, but the tribal itself is probably the best tribal of all time, and that's saying something considering that it's literally just a vote split. Like in the end, after all of, like the combos and everything like that, the numbers was just a vote split, and so the fact that they were able to get to make a really good episode out of just a vote split, like in theory, is really really impressive.
In theory, yes. And the thing is, though, couldn't easily avoided by Xander. I thought for a second, I'm gonna be honest, that Xander was the dumbest man alive. I really thought for a second that
Why?
Xander, because I thought for a second that Xander
No, he's
that was his
not
idol.
that stupid.
I know, but I had like I thought for a second that Xander, like I was like, bro, Xander, ain't no way. But I really thought he had the fake idol. Surprised that it was really good, by the way, really fake idol.
I
by
mean, well,
Xander.
but that's the thing though. Is this tribal had everything? It had your someone doing something stupid, like the Kagyan merge tribal, where the Tony and LJ play the idols for each other, right? And Liana. And on top of that, it was even cooler because Liana like was built up and she was being all cocky, and all of a sudden,
Yeah, and then
Xander,
finally,
like, pulled like some
I
Jedi.
would have loved it if Liana went home because of all this, but obviously that was never
So
gonna
Xander,
happen. But
so
you know.
so Xander then tricks her with this, and then on top of that, it's not just as simple as okay, yay, Evie and Xander win. No, from here, the rest of them team up on all of the. Liana joins the other two tribes, and they all team up on the Yase members
Plus Sydney.
plus Sydney, and then so it's eight against four, and then those eight split their votes 4-4. Or I guess they don't. I guess they must have split it 5-3, but then Deshaun used an
Yeah, he used an
vote
extra vote. I don't really know what happened.
to make it 5-4, and then and Sydney didn't vote, and then there was the Tiffany and Evie and Xander's votes for Deshaun, and that's how it ended up. So it was a 5-4-3 vote. Which
And
is
no matter
insane.
what, one of the Sydney or Evie was going to go home, I think, no matter what.
Oh my god! Wait, so hold on. This vote ended up being a 5-4-3 vote because so why did they split it 5-3, Sydney 5, Evie 3 before Deshaun used the extra vote? And why?
No, it was 4 Evie, 5 Sydney, or something like that. I don't know.
No.
It came down to one vote. It came down to one vote.
No. But you know what it was is that they split the vote 5-3, 5 Sydney, 3 Evie, and then Deshaun used his extra vote to vote for Evie one more time.
Exactly.
To make it 5-4, and then the 3 votes went on Deshaun.
Exactly.
That's a 5-3-4 vote, even though there's 12 people. Oh my god! And on top of that, we finally got to see the first. The little first shot in the dark play. That's
not surprisingly
so cool.
didn't work out.
That's so cool, bro.
I mean,
oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, I really had no doubt in my mind that it was gonna work. I really didn't think it was gonna work. Sydney should have just stuck with her vote.
Yeah, I don't really think it's ever, especially in a group like this so big, it's never worth it to drop your vote in order to gain immunity. I'm just still shocked that tribal just happened. That, as I mean, Abel said it the best. That's probably one of the best for me tribals. I don't think it's one of the best episodes. I don't think that episode. Yeah, but as far as the tribal goes, it's probably the best tribal in Survivor history, which is saying something because there's been literally
you said that about the first tribal and the Ua tribal in the first episode of the season.
No. I said that was the one of if not the best premieres.
You said something about the
tribals within a premiere.
Okay, yeah, you said that.
Yeah.
Still,
yep.
I mean, and also finally we got a Luvu member getting voted out. Big
which
ups, guys.
Because we need to have even shots. Now, I'm shocked. Usually, that middle tribe ends up being the one that comes in the power, but it seems like it was the opposite. Where instead of that, it was actually everybody collapsing on the Yase tribe in this scenario, like that tribe in the middle, and it ended up sending Sydney home. I'm shocked. I thought that they would have edited Sydney in a different way if she was gonna just get turned on all of a sudden. It seemed like Deshaun and Danny and Sydney were so close as like a power trio, and to see them just flip on each other so quickly was really weird.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I kind of been getting the feeling for like the past couple days that like Evie, I thought might have like some sort of like a merge or like early merge vote off. That's why I said like I think she's gonna get voted out in the merge. I think I actually had her at one of my power rankings, but between that and this time, I kind of like looked back and I was like, I don't know, I felt like Evie kind of had, I'm not Evie, Sydney kind of had like a good like merge vote out. And, you know, she was the most consistent among the Luvu, which, you know, looking back at it now, should have been a sign that she probably would have been one of the first ones voted out of the Luvu tribe. But good thing is that now at least one person from every single tribe is a pre-juror, so you know there's that.
Yep.
That's good. I thought for some, I don't know why I thought.
Wait, Sydney's not on the jury?
Wait, no, an 18-person season's the first merge boot isn't part of the jury.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me about how you felt going into tribal. How did you think that people were gonna like vote going into tribal?
I thought it was gonna be Sydney, but I didn't think it was gonna be in the way that it happened. I thought it was gonna be like Xander. Well, I thought he was first of all. I thought he was gonna give it the tip for Evie, so I didn't think he'd do like the whole fake idol thing. But good.
I did.
He did that, and the obviously I think Tiffany ended up having it, and I think she actually ended up voting that. No, she didn't. I thought basically what was gonna happen is that Liana's gonna try to use her thing or whatever. It wouldn't be successful, and then they would try to rebound it on either Sydney or someone else, or just try to put it back on Evie since it can't be Evie because it's obvious she has idol or whatever. So yeah. I didn't think it'd be as crazy as it was. I thought Deshaun would have had a bigger target on him than he actually did. But I still thought it was going to be probably Sydney, just not as crazy as it ended up being.
Yeah, I'm just shocked that what we got was so good. I mean, because think about it. In the end, we had a 6th tribe per, like, usually what happens is that tribe gets completely swapped on, or that tribe just dominates like just the whole merge. It was not that at all. It was very complicated. There was like first of all, let's talk about how Liana just flipped on her entire tribe as soon as she got to the merge. She just forgot about all of them.
Yeah. She had one like confession, like it might be hard to do it, but whatever, I want to do it. And she still has this rivalry with Xander that's very one-sided. But now it was so satisfying being like, yeah, Liana, here's my fake idol, and she's like, what? And he was like,
like, oh, well, you have to play cutthroat sometimes.
Yeah, good job, Xander. Good job, Xander. Yeah, good. Xander, she was pissed off.
Sometimes Xander, you have to play cutthroat. You wouldn't understand, Xander. You wouldn't understand. Oh, and then oh my god, I got so mad when Xander was like, oh yeah, I like don't have an idol, and then the 2 girls got mad. They were like, yeah, we know, Xander, we know. It's like, shut up.
Like, yeah, like, bro, shut up. Like, you just tried to steal his idol. Like, it was so satisfying. It was like finally, like Xander finally gets back at Liana. Yeah, she just lost the game. It was like, it's so satisfying, seeing that happen to Liana after she's had this one-sided rival with Xander the entire game, and he just pulls up this big boss move. I was like, bro, Xander, I could kiss your. I mean,
no, but for real though, I could. No, Xander right now, I think Xander and Evie and Tiffany are in trouble, but I think that at least one of them is definitely getting at least to the end, if not winning the game.
Hopefully, Xander
off of their underdog edit. I know everyone's so high on Tiffany right now. Everyone's saying, oh, like everyone's just kind of hopping on that.
If you actually watch the show, you realize that Tiffany isn't going to win.
Oh my god, but it's like no one cares. Like, I see Tiffany as a person, and that's not winning. But that's
now this episode would have been so much better if Ricard went home. Just saying.
Oh my god! All right, let's not lose all of our viewers in one fell swoop. But okay, so let's start at the start of the episode, right? So
yes.
At the start of the episode, we have what?
We have Erica crying or whatever. And then it goes straight to the challenge where, surprise, Erica smashed it.
Up until like maybe 20 minutes into the episode, I was just falling asleep. I was just like not having it.
Bro, you're like mad. You're like, oh my god, we waited a week for this. I was like, bro, you knew that she was gonna smash the urn. Like, what did you think was gonna happen? Like, the dragons come and eat everyone.
But then all of a sudden, we got this crazy turn of events where all of a sudden the story lined up in a way in which was very easy to digest, but also very complicated at the same time. Think about it. Like, for example, the David versus Goliath post-merge, very easy to look at. It's the Davids and it's the Goliaths, but because it was more complicated than that, it was easy for casuals and super fans. And I feel like this had the same effect, where it was easy for both casuals and super fans to understand, because when you look at the vote, just like at first-hand view, it's just a majority vote split. There's 8 and 4, and they split at 4-4-4. But in reality, it's more complicated than that, because it was actually split 5-3, and the 3 votes went to the majority. Sydney didn't vote, and then Deshawn used an extra vote for the 3, which was to Evie, I think, and then it turned into a 5-4-3 vote, where it was 5 Sydney, 4 Evie, and 3 Deshawn, right?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah. And so I personally feel like this vote could have been like a super boring, disappointing vote. But one, the editors knew how to prop it up. And 2, we at least got like an explanation as to why the person went home. Like, we were shown Sydney's incompetence, building up over these episodes, building. So we were showing at least why she wasn't a good Survivor player. Now, we were kind of confused. Like, personally, I wish we had gotten a bit more of why Sydney lost, and not just like, hey, she's like this really conceited person who's like not very socially aware and like almost as bad as Angelina, but like not nearly as bad. And it's like, yeah, okay, but I wish I got a teeny bit more. But I mean,
she did get the most screen time, like, out of anyone, and
on Lulu. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I mean, but and if you watch her exit like thing,
what the heck?
What?
If you watch what, you got a call, buddy.
You called.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, I did. Oh, that's weird. All right. Well, I personally feel like, for me, Sydney is a very good merge boot, because she wasn't someone who's a very good player. So it's not like you lost like a Shan or like a Xander.
Shan's kind of like, I don't know. Like,
no,
this episode.
No.
Hear me out.
Shan's a good player.
Can we get a confessional from Shan?
Oh. Yes.
Like, who's Shan? I don't like.
Chat. Did we get a confessional from Shan? Yes or no? Because
if we did, it was 1. Like, we didn't get much, is what I'm saying.
Okay. The reason why you're saying that is because she wasn't on the side that was like that we want to root for.
I'm not saying she's not gonna win. I never said that.
Well, no, I'm just saying.
Discord, shut up. No, like, what I'm saying is, but I still think Shan's positioned good. I just like in the edit, like, if she's such a epic gamer, why didn't she get? And also, Ricard didn't get any confessionals. Oh my god, love it.
I literally cannot believe those N words from Sydney, bro. She's like, yeah, well, you know what? Outside of the game, she basically said, like, outside of the game, at least have a good life to go back and live. Like, that's basically what she said, like, in her anything. Like, it's basically
what do you mean she basically said?
Well, she, like, I don't know the word she used, but she basically said, like, I have much more to go home to after this, like, and like, screw those people, which is like hilarious. Like, the whole time she's saying, well, I'm not as conceited as you guys think. And then she ends it by saying, well, at least I have a nice house to go to.
It's like, I have so much more than any of those people. I'm glad I'll never have to see any of those stupid faces again, or something like that. Like, if there's a reunion show, it's going to be crazy. If there's a reunion show.
Like a baby. Oh my God. Yeah.
If there's a reunion show, it's going to be crazy.
I actually like that because... Don't ever say it again. I actually like that because a lot of people, like, I nowadays, everyone's so game body. Like, when people get blurred out, they're like, high five, guys, good blindside. Like,
I know. Finally seeing someone who, like, is salty.
Like, is actually mad.
Yeah, I love the salt. I love the salt.
That's much more fun to watch than someone saying, just being like, oh, good blindside guy. Like,
let me shake your hand after you voted me out.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what?
Yeah, like I said, shoddy strife. Oh my gosh,
she a spoiled rich girl.
Like I said,
they're saying it right.
Trifling.
Okay, that's the 5th time.
It's the 3rd time.
All right, moving back to the start. So after Erica smashes it, we get the challenge.
Big surprise.
Do you like these foot challenges? Do you have I mean, I'm personally
okay. No, you got to reword that. You like these foot challenges? You got a foot fit? No, okay.
I am not a fan. Chat. Do we like?
I'm not a fan. It gives people like Evie and Ricard, people who probably use their feet in day. Okay. You know what I mean? Okay. Look, what I'm saying is like
Okay.
for my man's like Danny who have big chunky feet because he knows that it's about driving, it's about power. It's hard for him to win the challenges. I'm not a fan of just looking at people's feet the entire time. I'm okay with like endurance challenges, but yeah, I mean, not even Joe Anglim could win this challenge. So like, don't even put it on my screen, please.
Don't put it on my screen. No,
I'm just not a fan of seeing people's big fat toes and like also
yeah.
seeing Evie's rainbow tattoo. Like, just no, I'm good. Yeah, get it out of my face. Hey, yo,
Chat.
bro? Hey,
Yo.
hey.
You just noticed it. Chat. Go on Evie's Instagram, by the way. Just kind of on the side. Look up her past photos when she had long brown hair. Don't leave the stream, but go on your phone and look that up. That is, I mean,
Coach Wade probably does that challenge on the daily. I know, right? Like,
no, it's okay. So after we get the challenge in which we have Ricard winning, any thoughts on Ricard's chances of going on a challenge run? Is that
no. I think he just got kind of lucky with this. No, there ain't no way. You got people like Danny, people like Deshaun, big men, and you have Ricard, who's like small man
Beta.
energy, beta man energy. You have these Sigma alpha males like Danny. Yeah,
Sigma
it's not gonna
alpha?
happen.
What?
Sigma alpha males
I'm not
like
yeah,
Danny,
okay.
Deshaun. Who else is Nasir? Obviously,
Yeah,
is that the
Nasir,
only
yeah.
man? Xander, who's definitely gonna
Yep.
win the game, obviously, because it's Xander.
I think Xander's more of our robbed goddess type of like yeah. I mean, okay. After the challenge, where does all so I with this episode it's interesting. They gave like the first 20 minutes to the smashing glass
Yeah.
and to the immunity challenge. The last 40 minutes, hold on, bro. The last full 40 minutes were strategy talk on that day and then tribal. The last 40 minutes. And so I think that's an interesting way. I think that they did this right because there was so much strategy and there were so many sides and so many combos that we needed to see. And I'm sure that there's stuff that we missed anyway. But you know, there was so much that we needed to see, and then tribal was like 20 minutes on its own. And so I think that this was the right call to start it like 40 minutes in, like all of the stuff from that day.
Yeah, I agree.
The challenge. Do you agree? Okay. Good.
Yeah, I think 20 minutes for this tribal. It had to be like 20 minutes because it was a crazy tribal council.
Yeah, 20 minutes for tribal and like 15 minutes for pre-tribal stuff. Yeah. Okay. So where does the pre-tribal stuff start? Where does like the beach talks after the challenge start?
It's they come back like, oh my god, good job, guys. Then we have the initial like I
think it's everyone but is it everyone but Deshaun?
No, it's everyone but Evie who who doesn't have immunity anymore.
Yeah.
Plus Ricard, and they're talking, and they initially put the target on Evie. Then we get Shan telling Liana about they want to do Evie, and Evie's like, well, you know, it's gonna hurt, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And then she's all like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna make a big move!" Yay! She's like, does some weird dance. I don't know. Get Leon. I was roasting Leon. I would say the entire time. Okay, like whenever she says something like, "It's like I can't wait to make a big move," I would be like, "I can't wait for you to shut up." My mom got so mad at me for like saying that over and over again. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, and then we get that, and then we also get a little talk about putting the target on Liana possibly from Xander and stuff, and then it ships over to the Sean, and then
no. Let's go a bit more slow through this. It's not a speed run. Okay, so the first thing we get is I believe it's the entirety of the Cookout Alliance minus I think Liana just happened to not be there.
And plus actually Sydney and Ricard were there as well talking.
Yeah, exactly. And then plus Sydney and Ricard. So it was Danny, Deshaun, Shan, Sydney, and Ricard there, right? And so that's 5. And they all were saying, hey, let's go after so it was someone before Evie and then they switched to Evie. So
no, it was Evie. It was Evie.
They were saying like, hey, maybe we go for Nasir, but he has
they say Nasir. They say Nasir, but we can trust him or something like that. They said
no. It's because he had an idol, right? Yeah.
No. So, I think it was someone was that, but Deshaun also said I think we can trust him, which ended up being true because he voted with them.
Yeah. So it seems to me like from there they chose Evie, and from there, who tells Evie that she's in trouble? Like who gives her the scoop on that?
I think it was Xander.
How did Xander figure it out?
Wait, no. I think it was. Evie said, "I think I'm in trouble, guys." She just hold up.
She just knew, yeah.
Yeah, she just kind of had a feeling.
Yep.
Yeah.
It seems to me, yeah. Yep.
And she had a feeling that tonight wasn't going to be a good night, and she was right. So.
Yeah, for me, I personally I look at how this episode goes out, and this comment's so true. This is a top like 10 just merge episode ever, definitely. Probably in my opinion, one of the best merge episodes ever. And then as far as tribal goes, it's definitely a top 10 tribal. For me, this is so good. I don't know if it's necessarily the best episode in the franchise or even like a top 10 episode in the franchise, but the tribal itself is very good. The tribal itself really just it really showed out because I feel like it had everything you needed. It had the thing like the people crashing and burning in Liana. It had like multiple layers to it. It had a flip, and it had someone from the majority alliance going home. And so, but in the end, it was still complicated. And in the end, it was a pretty simple vote. It was just a majority vote split with some extra steps and some extra votes and some shot in the darks. And speaking of shot in the dark, let's talk about the shot in the dark. Is there any time when you would ever use it at all?
Never, not once. It just the odds of it, like King Voce said, is so astronomical if you actually getting it. Plus, like you never know if your vote could be the deciding vote, right? So it's like you always want to keep your vote. So yeah, I don't think I would have to like be 100% sure, like somehow know, like unequivocally 100%, like that I'm the person going home. Like if I was in like a Colby situation from HPV where like I know 100% I'm going home, I would use it. But like in especially in Sydney's case, when there's 12 people left in the game, like that's a lot of people. So
you're almost never sure nowadays, and so I feel like for like I think this would have been great in like season 13 or like season 12. This is not great in season 41 when you're never really sure if you're going home, and you're never going to be sure. Every vote's a blindside nowadays. Like the last time a vote was like just dead set was maybe like Stephanie and Go Sound, and like the fact that I have to go back 5 seasons for one time. I think that exactly. What are our thoughts on if it will be used again? Do you think that we'll have another one used again, especially after Sydney just ruined her entire game using hers? Do you think that people are going to like quote unquote learn their lesson and not use theirs? Like are people going to get scared straight out of it or what?
I mean, I don't think anyone's going to use it, but if we do see someone use it, it's probably be like a Tiffany or like someone that's like really like always is like flipping and stuff like that. But if I had to guess, I don't think that we're going to see it happen again. So yeah.
You don't?
No, I don't. Do you think we might possibly see it?
I think I do not. I think everyone's going to be scared straight. I feel like that's like this is going to set like a precedent for how things are going to go in the future. I feel like Sydney playing this and screwing her whole game away because all she had to do was vote for Evie would have been a tie, right? Yeah, a tie, and then they would have revoted and probably gone with Evie because she's in the minority alliance. That's so much better than her what she ended up doing to herself.
Yeah,
I think this is going to set a precedent for what's to come in the future. Where I feel a lot of people are like nowadays. People are always like, well, I'm not gonna make the same mistake as Eric or the same mistake as James. I feel like now people are gonna be like, I'm not gonna make the same mistake as Sydney. Like I feel like she's now one of those people. I think that's a really underrated dumb move because she knows that there's 8 people there and there's 4 here. They can split the votes, and she knows that they have extra votes. Why are you trying to beat 8 people with 4 votes? Just vote for Evie because she's the only other person in your contingency.
Yeah, I think it would have been. I really don't know why Evie didn't vote for Evie because it would have been a tie. Yeah. Then and at least there's some. And obviously, the majority alliance wanted her to go home, so they probably voted. Yeah. But like at least if you get it's a vote. It's like
I think they probably vote for Evie because she's the person who they wanted to vote out in the first place. That's who they were targeting going in.
Their backup had to be Evie. So yeah, I mean, I just feel like nowadays, like sometimes people are just too committed to their alliances. So, obviously, Liana wasn't, but it actually wasn't in her best interest to flip. I don't think so.
I think it is.
Really? It's kind of hard to say.
Well, it's tough just because I feel like it was in her best interest to get with this majority 8 because obviously as many outs as you have, as many idle nullifiers, as many this and that, you want to have a majority. In the end, the majority wins. Ass, Dom, and Wendell, right? And so it's like in the end, being in that 8 is better than being in that 4 with the rest of the Yases. But at the same time, can she balance having Liana or sorry, having Shan and Deshaun like number ones, and then also having Evie. I feel like Evie would notice that and try and cut her off. I feel like she almost had to pick a side, and obviously you're going to go with the side that has like
but
the numbers.
She's probably going to get the first person voted out of that.
You're right.
When it comes down to
you're right, because the only person that she has a really close bond with is Shan, and although Shan can do a lot, she's not like super like at a certain point Shan can't save you. You know what I mean? Like ask JD, right? Like if everybody else hates you and you're or not even hates you, but everybody else doesn't trust you and they want to go after you, Shan knows when it's just best to take a step back and let them shoot you. You know, it's like I feel like personally, the way that Liana's operating is in a way of self-preservation and less about her overall thinking of the game. I think if she went with the Yastes and made it 7 to what is it? What would it be 7 to 5 instead of it being 8 to 4? Then they could have used the idol correctly, and then from there you have a whole different ballgame because now they can't split the votes anymore if it's 7 to 5, and then all they have to do is play the idol for Tiffany, and then even if they vote out Sydney, that's still someone there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just feel like no matter what, I don't think that Liana is in a really good situation right now.
I do. I just think that she took an L in this vote. I don't think she's winning because she's got like she just got
obliterated this episode. Yeah. Like she just got absolutely destroyed. I mean, Xander just, my God, bro, like chill out, bro. She's already dead.
Like right now, she's probably towards the middle because she evens out. Because although she's in a great spot in the game, this tribal was terrible for her. Terrible. There's no way that you can put her in the top 3 with any sort of
cannot win.
Like exactly.
It's kind of like almost your gut putting Liana at number 1 on your power rankings last week.
we don't talk about that. This exactly is that Liana's literally been in the she's in the power. She's in the 8 people who are still there. She's in that 8. So as much as you want to be worried, and even if they flip on each other in the 8, which is probably going to happen because it's going to happen.
Yeah, that has so much cracks in it, that alliance.
Yeah. It's so many cracks. And which I actually like because like I'm almost expecting a flip. So even if there is just like a bagonging where it's just like Tiffany, like or not necessarily a bagonging, but just like a Tiffany vote out, like or a simple one next, I would be so shocked because I'd be like, no, there's no way they have to flip. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't make any sense to me. And so it's like I feel like there's so many possibilities coming up, and I think this second half of the episode really kick the season into gear. And if they don't keep it on this gear, I'm gonna be so mad because they have such a good season, and it's not even their doing. It's this cast showing how good they are. This is such a good cast. The people you hate, you really hate, but it's not like it's
like
really
Ricard,
only
like Ricard.
The people like who you love. But most importantly for me, I like when. I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of like let's go cast a Bradley and let's go cast like a like a JT.
You a Bradley? No.
So for me, it's like I'm not a big fan of let's go cast Bradleys and JTs, like people who are on the opposite of spectrums. I'm much more I like your Shans, your complex people who we see a villainous side and a heroic side and just a human side to them because humans are flawed in overall in theory. And so I do like to see that they're casting people who are not just a hero or not just a villain but more a player and someone who is willing to play dirty but not to the point where it's like rustled or like not to the point where they're ruining their whole game for no reason because then they're just a bad person. I mean straight up.
Yeah. And
so I think this show that this season the production can try and ruin the season as much as they want. If this cast can just stay being themselves, this season will be at least a top 20 season at worst and a top 8 season at best probably.
I mean, I want to see Survivor succeed. A bunch of Survivors want to see it fail for some reason. No, I mean, I don't think the production's actively trying to ruin the season, but like, the twists that they're adding definitely are not the best. So there's that. But this cast is really good. I mean, the cast is really good.
It shows when JD, Brad, and Voce get voted out in the pre-merge, and we're still on the edge of our seats for the merge tribal. It shows that they have that good of a cast. Where Heather's in the game, freaking Erica's in the game,
Tiffany's in the game,
Tiffany's in the game, and yet we're still just like so interested because these other 9 people who are still here are so.
That was 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, like who even is JD? Like who is
That
that
was
guy?
3 weeks ago. Come on, come on.
No, but
No, we
for
love
me,
JD.
I mean, so give this season a rating so far after all these dips and valleys and ups and downs. Give the season a rating 0 to 10.
Oh, let me just say this, all right? If this season ended just right now, just like for some reason the season ended right now, it'd already be better than like more than one season. Think of I think it'd already be better than like Thailand or
Well, I think it's probably a
Paramount.
top right now. If the season ended right now and we compare these first 6 episodes with any other first 6 episodes, I'd say it's probably a top 15 season right now. Just based off of that last episode.
I mean, no, yeah, it is very. I would give it 7, 8 out of 10 probably right now. I don't know.
Yeah, You said what?
I said I'm really liking the season right now. I know Survivor fans like to dog on every single season that comes out ever, but you guys are just cringe and you guys stink. So
Whoa, hey! Don't be hating on the audience like that. No, for me,
the Redditors, the evil Redditors,
the evil Reddit. Imagine going on Reddit. That'd be crazy. All right. Okay, what happened? Let's take a step back. What happens after they first put the target on Sydney? We get our gigantic conversation, and this is when I knew that Xander was going to do the fake idol. When they come, or when Liana comes to Xander and Evie after they both know that she's gonna flip on them, and she's like, "So okay, who's playing that out for who?" They knew it all the way right there, and then we see them say, okay, yeah, it's definitely gonna be Xander playing it for Evie 100%, and we see Evie and Xander like making like these like awkward faces, like, oh no, like she's playing us. It's so obvious in that moment that they're gonna just make an absolute fool out of this.
I know, like it's funny that they didn't know that it was gonna happen, but like we know because we've seen everything is gonna happen. They're acting like, oh my god, wait, do you actually hate me? And when we know like it's not gonna happen, they're putting on a show for us. I love it, and it all just comes together when Liana's like, Xander, can I have your advantage? And Xander's like, no, but you can have this fake one, bitch. Get wrecked, nerd. And it's so good. It's so good. So I'd watch that over and over and over again. I love it. Oh my god, it makes me happy. Makes me happy to see Liana finally lose. Like, God.
For me, I'm just excited that this season just got kicked back into gear, and I really hope that
advantage gone so much better.
Yeah, so much better. And the thing is, that's again, I don't want production to bring back.
This is the good ending. We got the good ending, guys.
Exactly.
Be thankful.
This is very, very eerily similar to the is it Nullifier? Yeah,
Nullifier from 37. How it worked out perfectly.
We're in 37. It worked like the one time out of 10,000 times it worked perfectly. This happened the exact same way. It worked perfectly, like the one time out of like 10,000 times. Please, production, do not push your luck again by bringing it back and having it be a terrible tribal where there's like 2 people and they just like split the votes and they use the advantage to grab their idol. That would be the most boring tribal. Oh my god. Yeah. Production, you got lucky. This advantage worked out perfectly, just like in 37. Do not push your luck like you
did in 39. Exactly. Yeah, don't do it. We got the good ending. Please don't give us a bad ending. And like. It's like we can have these cool, like dumb, bad twists. Like if it's only like once every like couple seasons, it's like it's all right. Like we get it. You're trying to do something. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss. So it's like, just don't try to I just don't want Survivor to get so far removed from actual Survivor that we're like having a whole advantage where like you can bring a player back. Like like don't do that.
Exactly.
So we got the good in those. So I'm very happy about that.
For me, I'm looking at this part of the season as vital. If these next 2 votes can be blindsides and or just like entertaining votes, as long as they're just not like bad votes, like bad tribals / episodes. I think the season's on a great path. If these next 2 votes are just shitty and like they're just terrible and like they're just like not interesting at all, I think we're looking at a very average to subpar season. I think these next few votes are really like similar to how like in Dave vs. Goliath, the first vote, meh. Just like how our last, like quote unquote, I guess like last episode, you could say it was the quote unquote merge episode, similar to how in Dave vs. Goliath, we had the Elizabeth vote, pretty boring vote,
Yeah.
And then the big vote with John. This is our big vote, imagine, right? And so now after John, you had like the second big vote with Dan. Now we need the second big vote with whoever this is going to be.
It was Alec, I think. Then it was Carl.
No. It was Elizabeth, and then it was John the wrestler, and then it was Dan. and then after that, it was Alec, yeah,
Alec,
and then
Carl.
it was Alec and then Carl, yeah, exactly.
And to think, we could have had this all 1 week ago. Oh
my dude, yes. If this was a 2-hour episode, I would literally I would have crapped my pants.
Okay,
this would have been the best episode in Survivor history. Literally, in Survivor history, because then it was all in one episode. Because I feel like a lot of this episode not being a top 20 episode for me, even though it's so good tribal, is because that first 20 minutes, I'm still just angry about the last episode. I'm generally just still frustrated about how bad the last episode was. And then after I finally got over myself and was able to focus on this, strategy and then the tribal, I was able to realize how good this episode was becoming. But the fact that I had to get out of a mindset to enjoy the show is not good, because the entire point is that no matter what mindset you're in, you're supposed to be able to enjoy the show, period, without having to get yourself in some sort of mindset. Period, exactly. And so for me, it's I don't want to have to get into a certain mindset to enjoy the show, and I feel like that's the issue that
it's not a mindset; it's a grind set.
Don't ever talk again. I feel like for me, it's if I think the show did a lot better job making this really, really boring concept, just like a majority vote split, into a very interesting vote. You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and I mean, it sucks we had to wait 1 week, but I'm not saying that it was worth it all, obviously, but damn, was it a good rebound though?
It was a very good rebound. Do we have anything else to talk about, or?
Let me think. Did we miss anything?
Chat. While we think, any questions for us before we go off the air?
Oh, also, I just want to brag about this, guys. Guess what? I'm officially am more relevant than the Survivor specialists. I have more subscribers to them. Get wrecked.
That's funny, bro.
Officially,
check
more
your
relevant.
check your channel views and then theirs and see who has more. I'm curious.
Oh, I have the more most popular video. My most popular video. Let me check. Has 127,000 views. Let me go look at.
And theirs is probably like 12,000.
Yeah, I'm leading them by 200 or 300 some subscribers. Yeah, the most video has 52,000. So I mean, officially, guys, more relevant. Who even is a specialist? I don't know.
I don't even know who they are. I don't even know who those people are. No, I mean, I'm very happy that we were able to get such a good tribal after such a deplorable episode, because that was such a disappointment last week. And I think even the most vehement Survivor, 41 supporters like us, even we had to take a step back and be like, oh my god.
Yeah, and Survivor Specialists right now probably crying that Sydney went home because she's a queen or something like that. I don't know. Whenever problem with Survivor community, whenever a woman gets out of that, robbed queen. Oh my god,
robbed queen. But then when freaking
Xander
gets voted out, it's oh my god, I hate men. Whatever.
And the funny thing is, right? Evie's all I hate men or whatever. I'm Xander. I mean, kind of saved her though. No cap.
Xander did save Evie. Evie with the whole time was she was acting like such a baby the whole time. She's I told you, Tiffany. And then Xander's I'm sorry. She's
don't worry. And then it's don't worry. And then when Sydney goes home, she gets up and is let's go. You didn't want Sydney to go home. You wanted Deshawn to go home.
Exactly. It's
she's I was confused. Good job, guys. Sorry, Sydney. I was
so as soon as Sydney got voted out, Evie's oh, good job, Xander. Good job, Tiffany. It's that's not what you were saying 5 seconds ago.
You were trying to get Deshawn voted out. You didn't want Sydney. Could they have avoided this in any way? I'm trying to think. If Xander uses extra vote on Deshawn and Sydney votes for Deshawn, that's 5 votes for Deshawn?
Yeah.
It's a 5-5, right? So yeah, no matter what.
I'm going to start a new tradition here on our live show. Let's do the episode MVP. Who is the episode MVP for this episode?
I mean,
again, to clarify that this is not the person who's number one on our power rankings. It's not the person who's our winner pick. It's just the person who we think performed the best in this episode.
Xander.
And I think it has to be Xander, right? It has to.
I mean, if not only just for that one,
yeah,
God, bro, I could have just stood up and kissed him on the lip, I mean, what? You know what I'm trying to say?
It's not the cat, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it was so sad. So you can have this fake idol, and she was all oh, "Good job, Xander, you got it." Yeah, I was oh, shut up.
Oh, and then on top of that, it made me so mad when after that, they were like, oh, okay, wait, hold on. So
Naseer.
they're like, oh, like, so Evie saved it, and then they like were talking out loud, and Xander was like, well, yeah, I have an idol, so I'm not going home. And they're like, yeah, we know Xander. Shh. And like they got so mad at him. And it's like, why are you getting mad at him, bro? He made a good move. Like, stop.
Don't hate the player, hate the game or something like that.
Hate the game, bro.
And then, but it turns out Tiffany actually has the idol the entire time or something like that. So you guys were still wrong.
Advantage counter.
Nerds.
So we need an advantage counter. So the advantage that we're playing with
advantage counter. Yes.
Liana's thing was played. It's gone.
Yes.
I think Deshaun played his extra vote trying to get Evie to be like the person who went home, but in the end, because they had split it 5-3 and probably some confusion, and then his extra vote made it 5-4. So he basically threw away his extra vote. I'd say Deshaun had a pretty bad episode. I'm not.
Yeah, Deshaun I think had a pretty bad episode. He was
came in with so much power, and he came out with no advantage, and someone from his own tribe, from his core 3, goes home.
Yeah, his core 3 too. I was surprised how willingly Deshaun was ready to get rid of Sydney. I know he was probably in survival mode at that point because, but still, like I was still surprised. Like even though he was in survival mode, of how fast he was ready to throw Sydney to the curb. I think overall Deshaun had a pretty bad episode. Because like he has an extra, he doesn't have anymore. His name was up for grabs. You know, he could have potentially gotten flipped on if Naseer actually, because Naseer, they at least told Naseer that they wanted to get Deshaun. He actually was like in on it because he was talking to Sydney, so it could have happened. Low chance, but it could have happened, especially with the whole Sydney thing.
Next question: Who had a worst episode, Liana or Deshaun?
I'm gonna have to go with Liana because I hate Liana. I mean, I don't hate Liana.
I think Deshaun had a worse episode because Liana at least got to the place where Deshaun has been at for several weeks now, being in the power spot. Whereas, I think Deshaun was already in that spot, and now he's kind of just like had a terrible episode. Whereas, at least like they both kind of fell apart at Tribal, but at least Liana built up there. Whereas Deshaun's kind of been there for a while now.
Yeah, but I mean, still, she got absolutely dogged on by Zandy.
This, so true, so true. Sydney pulled a Tyson and
she didn't really. She was gonna come either way, but
if she had voted for Evie, if she knew that they were splitting and voted for Evie, the issue is she just couldn't figure out, it didn't click in her head that the 8 people who have 4 votes each are gonna split 4-4. I guess that didn't click in her head. I would have thought of that. I'm just saying.
I would have too, but it would have at most been a tie. So I mean.
I know where they definitely go with Evie because that's the person who they wanted to vote out coming into the tribal. That's the whole reason why this whole thing happened with Xander playing.
We don't know for sure. It's a possibility, but yeah, I mean, I guess she basically did essentially pull a Tyson. Now, if she voted for Deshaun, it would have been. Yeah, her final words like, well, no, she was way more. She was like salty as hell. Oh my god!
I think even if she voted for if she voted period, she probably would have voted for Deshaun anyway.
I think she would have voted for Deshaun.
Yeah, I feel like she just didn't. It didn't click in her head that they were splitting votes and that she needed to vote for Evie because it was going to be 4-4 at least in her head at least. Obviously it ended up being 5-3 with it actually being 5-4. And that if she had voted for the one, she should have been 4. But I feel like in my head, if I'm her, I'm thinking they're splitting 4-4, which is what they should have done. They just had a miscommunication, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I think so.
And so if they're splitting 4-4, then her vote could have just decided it. But instead, she doesn't vote, and even then, her vote could have saved her to a tiebreaker at least.
At least a tiebreaker, where it's possible that Evie goes home because that was the initial target. And the only reason why they ended up voting for Sydney is because it was a pretty good possibility that Evie would have played the idol. They didn't play the idol, so at least they have the idol to the Tiff, Xander, and Evie contingent. But it would have been cool if Deshaun got voted. That would have been like a big blindside. Like Deshaun, 7th person voted out DVC. I would have dogged on Underdog so much. I mean, oh my god, it would have been great.
Dude, we would have absolutely done friggin' circles around his grave when that happened, bro. That would have been hilarious, bro.
Who was that? Deshaun gonna win the game? What? What's that?
DVSD. What do you mean going home? That's right. Yeah. All right. What's going on over there on Survivor Gamer TV or not Survivor Skylander Gamer
Survivor
TV
Gamer TV. Good. No.
Yeah.
Guys, actually, I have another channel called Survivant. The only way to find it is actually you can't even type in Survivant. You have to look up Survivant Survivor 41. But I will be uploading a video on my Survivor channel tomorrow. So there's that. Look up
funny memes, guys. Check it out.
Not a funny meme, an actual video. I know. Look up Survivor 41. I'll be uploading a video with a special guest on it. Some of them, we've seen in these podcasts before. Probably uploaded the meme sometime on that soon. And on the regular channel, just expect, I guess, I uploaded my Halloween video. I had to, how I had to do it. But now just expect a regular, I guess, kind of videos for the foreseeable future until Christmas time. So yeah, what's that?
And what's going on my channel? We're about to make my 2 thumbnails for this week. I don't know. I really don't know what my 2 videos are going to be. I have an idea for one, but the other one is up in the air. Tomorrow's video, I'm thinking we're going to do that. This was the best tribal of all time. And I'm going to make an argument for it. I'm going to make a whole ass argument and compare it with other top tribals. And we'll just have to see, is this the best tribal of all time? And we'll talk about it tomorrow. So check it out tomorrow, probably around 5, 6-ish, something like that. Okay. Thank you guys for continuously clicking. Like this one right now. Like it. Go and leave it. Thank you. And then subscribe.
Freaking it, guys.
Subscribe. No, the little bell in the corner. It's very, very important. And then you can hit the all thing after that. That's even more important. Thank y'all for the continuous support. Daily content continues. Not many channels can keep up with this daily content grind, but I can. And yeah,
grind set. Yeah.
See you guys. Peace.